You can attract her with your looks. You can impress her with your charm. You can even win her over with success. But you'll only keep her with your character. Because when the money fades, when the good days slow down, when the filters drop and real life sets in, that's when she'll see who you really are. And that's when most men lose. Not because they weren't good enough to get her, but because they never became strong enough to keep her. Welcome back to the Ponder Parlor, where we serve mind snacks for the curious thinkers. Today, we continue the second part of our short series on building true manhood. Here's a truth you most likely won't hear in your group chat or friend circle. You don't rise to the level of your charm. You fall to the level of your habits. When life gets hard, when stress hits, when the bills pile up, when she's crying and doesn't even know why, who are you in that moment? Because attraction might bring her close, but stability keeps her there. A real woman doesn't just want a man she can love. She wants a man she can trust. Trust with her emotions. Trust with her silence. Trust with her storms. See, most guys think strength is about being loud, being dominant, being the alpha in the room. But the truth is, real strength is quiet. It's the man who doesn't flinch when things go wrong. The man who doesn't panic when plans collapse. The man whose peace is louder than chaos. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's masculine energy in its purest form. The ability to stay calm in a world that is constantly trying to shake you, unsettle you, and knock you the heck out. When you're unshakable, she feels safe. When you're at peace, she can finally rest. That's what she's drawn to. Not your six-pack, not your car, but the way your energy makes her nervous system relax. Let's talk a little bit about modern masculinity. We live in a time where masculinity has been twisted into performance. Everyone's shouting about being alpha, posting quotes, buying status symbols, acting like dominance equals depth. But a real man isn't the loudest voice in the room. He's the one whose presence changes the temperature. Have you ever met someone like that? A man who walks in quietly, but you can feel the weight of his presence. He doesn't need to demand respect. He embodies it. That's not ego. That's essence. And essence is built in silence. In the mornings, you show up when no one's clapping. In the nights, you wrestle with your own demons and still get up to fight again. By the way, it is worth noting that the experience of walking into a room and instantly commanding attention doesn't happen every time, not even for real men. But here's the truth. A real man doesn't need his presence to be noticed to know his worth. His confidence isn't dependent on who's watching. A real man carries a quiet power, one that doesn't seek validation, applause, or recognition. He doesn't measure himself by how others respond to him, but by how grounded he remains in who he is. Because real strength isn't in being seen, it's in being certain, even when no one's looking. Seneca said, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." And if you've ever gone through heartbreak, failure, or loss, you know what he meant. Because the hardest part of becoming a man isn't the grind, it's the patience. It's staying steady when you have no evidence things will work out. It's showing love when you don't feel it back. It's keeping your word when it costs you. That's the kind of strength that leaves a mark. That's the kind of strength she remembers when everyone else folds. Let me tell you a short story, one you might be familiar with. Two men built houses. One built fast, on sand, shallow foundation, quick results. The other took his time, dug deep, built slow, brick by brick. When the storm came, one house disappeared. The other stood still. That's the same with relationships. A woman might be drawn to your surface, your smile, your status, and so on, but she'll only stay for your structure. If you haven't built one, no matter how pretty the house looks, it won't last the test or survive the storm. Here's what most men don't understand. Your ability to love is directly tied to your ability to feel. You've been told to suppress everything, not to cry as a man, not to be emotional or feel as a man, but just move on, regardless what it is. Whereas the real truth is, a man who can't feel or be emotional cannot connect. And a man who can't connect can't keep love. Listen to me when I say this. Connecting with your emotions or feelings, allowing yourself to express your emotions by crying as a man and so on, doesn't mean you are soft or becoming soft. It means being real. Feeling anger without losing control. Feeling sadness without drowning in it. Feeling love without losing yourself. These are evidence of realness, not softness. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your reaction, that's what defines you. Every man will face a moment when his life feels like it's falling apart. You'll lose something at some point in life. Money, love, reputation, maybe even yourself. And in that moment, the mask comes off, the fronts fade. Then the real you steps out, because the world will ask you one question. Who are you when you have nothing left to prove? That's the question she's subconsciously asking too. If it all collapsed tomorrow, would you still have peace? Because she doesn't just want your victory, she wants your values. And those can't be bought or faked. Let's be honest. You can scroll through Instagram right now and find 1,000 perfect couples. Matching fits, luxury trips, deep captions about love and loyalty. But behind those photos, half of them don't even speak at dinner. That's what happens when love is built on image instead of identity. When you care more about being seen than being real. So, stop asking, how do I keep her? Start asking, how do I keep me? Because when you're rooted in who you are, you don't lose yourself trying to keep someone else. Here's something Marcus Aurelius wrote that changed my life. Waste no more time talking about what a good man should be. Be one. That's the whole game right there. Don't study attraction, study discipline. Don't practice pickup, practice purpose. Don't chase women, chase wisdom. Because when you do, you become the kind of man who doesn't need to prove his worth. He just lives it. Think about Batman. He's not attractive because of the suit. It's the darkness he mastered that makes him compelling. He turned pain into purpose. That's magnetic. Or look at anime. Attack on Titan, Naruto, Vinland Saga. The characters we love aren't perfect. They're resilient. They suffer, they fail, they bleed, but they stand up again with purpose. That's the archetype of manhood every culture admires, the warrior with a calm spirit, the lion that doesn't roar, but everyone still fears. And let's talk faith for a second, because every real man has something deeper guiding him. Call it God, call it purpose, call it mission. If your spirit isn't anchored in something beyond yourself, you'll drift with every temptation, sway with every stormy wind, and bend at will to every frustration. The enemy isn't the woman you can't have. It's the man you refuse to become. Build your inner temple. Build your peace. So when she walks into your life, she finds a kingdom, not chaos. Here's the paradox. The moment you stop needing her to stay, that's when she wants to. Because real love isn't rooted in dependency, it's rooted in respect. When she sees that you don't lose your center no matter what, when she sees that your peace isn't for sale, that your emotions don't get hijacked by ego, she knows she's safe. And safety, my friend, is the ultimate form of attraction. So, here's the truth most men never learn. You can attract her with your world, but you'll only keep her if you have a core. If you want her to stay, be the man she can lean on when everything feels unstable. Be the calm in the storm. Be the one who chooses character over chaos. Because when the dust settles and life gets real, that's the kind of man she'll never walk away from. So, stop chasing validation. Stop performing masculinity. Start living it. Build your mind. Build your faith. Build your discipline. Build your peace. When you do, you won't need to keep her. You'll just keep becoming. And in that becoming, everything meant for you will stay. Because attraction brings her to you. Character makes her want to stay. But purpose keeps you becoming more. And that, brother, is the difference between a man who wants love and a man who embodies it. At the end of the day, brother, the goal was never just to get her. The goal was to become the kind of man who could keep her, not by holding her tight, but by standing tall. If this message spoke to you, remember, growth starts with awareness, but it lasts through action. So take what you've learned here and live it. And if you want to keep walking this road with me, through more lessons, more truth, more real talk, then subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and join this space we're building for men who refuse to stay average. You're not chasing anymore. You're becoming. I'll see you on the next one.